I would like to, based on some travel difficulties, I am appointing myself and Beryl to the Finance Committee temporarily. We live to serve Jerry.
Welcome aboard. Thank you so very much.
And we will start the Finance Committee when you are ready.
The first act is to vote me off the chair, right? Anyway, thanks very much and welcome to the December and the last meeting for 2024 of the Finance Committee. First up on the agenda is the adoption of the meeting minutes from the November, I forget the exact date, meeting of Finance. So can I please get a motion to approve those meeting minutes?
Moved.
Then I'll second that motion. All in favor, aye. None opposed, no abstention, so that motion carries. We have one matter on the agenda. That's the St. Anne's School in Brooklyn. I'm not sure who's presenting that portrait, but whoever it is. Steve?
Steve Ostrander.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. The Finance Committee is being asked to recommend to the full board a single approval transaction for a financing in an amount not to exceed $44 million in a term not to exceed 31 years on behalf of St. Anne's School. St. Anne's School, a new client to DASNY, is a private independent day school located in Brooklyn Heights. The school was founded in 1965 and currently serves over 1,100 students from preschool through 12th grade. Bond proceeds from this transactions are expected to be used to finance a portion of costs related to the purchase, renovation, and equipping of a 25,000 square foot building located at 142 Pierpont Street in Brooklyn. The purchase of 142 Pierpont provides an opportunity for St. Anne to house a 4-classroom kindergarten in close proximity to the school's lower, middle, and high school programs, creating a more unified campus clustered around the four corners of Pierpont and Clinton Streets. 142 Pierpont will house the kindergarten and provide additional academic and administrative space for St. Anne's existing programs, including a dedicated lower school laboratory, 4 general use classrooms, and a flexible arts and community space. The school is currently leasing the facility and plans to ultimately purchase the property in November 2025, funded in part with bond proceeds. Renovations to 142 Pierpont have commenced and will also be funded in part with bond proceeds. Anticipated that the proposed issuance will be sold through a private placement to Webster Bank, qualified institutional buyer. The bonds are expected to be issued as fixed rate with a term of 30 years, and are expected to be structured as drawdown bonds, allowing for the issuance of specific principal amounts. As project costs are incurred during a 3-year interest-only period. Following that drawdown period, the principal amount of the bonds will begin to amortize over the remaining 27-year period. As far as security, the bank will require a pledge of revenues to secure the bonds, as well as certain financial covenants. Just a little bit of background information on the school. Total headcount enrollment at St. Anne's averaged 1,100 students over the last 5 years, and that includes preschool all the way up through high school. Demand for the school has been steady, averaging 971 applications annually over the last 5 years. And the school is highly selective, admitting only 17% of students during the fall of 2023. When looking at operations, historically, the school has posted negative operating margins, which are offset by fundraising and investment returns, resulting in positive net income margins and total net asset growth. Net income margins were positive in each of the last 5 years, averaging $2.3 million annually. When looking at the balance sheet, the school's unrestricted net assets have increased by over $10 million over 5 years. And much of that growth can be attributed to positive investment returns and fundraising efforts. The school is currently in the midst of a large fundraising campaign with a goal of $30 million. The school is seeking donations to fund its campus opportunity fund, which includes the 142 Pierpont project that will be financed in part with bond proceeds. At fiscal year end 2023, the school reported investments with a market value of $85.9 million, which is growth of 80% over 5 years. And lastly, I just want to point out the school's 2024 audited results were made available after the mailing to the board. But I just want to highlight that a lot of the trends that I just mentioned have continued. Net income margin of $3.6 million, investments grew to $95.2 million, and unrestricted net assets increased to $73.3 million. So all of the the positive trends that I just mentioned. So that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Could you just take us through the mechanics of sort of the closing, because it's a little different, right? Like you're closing, you're getting the proceeds of the bond, whatever it is, 44 million. But you're not really closing on the property until later. Right?
That's true. So they're currently leasing the facility with the option to purchase the building. That purchase is expected to occur in November of 2025. So we expect to close on the bonds in January. The renovations have already started, so the bond proceeds will be used toward the renovations that are ongoing, and then it will be used for the purchase once that occurs in November.
And if it doesn't, for whatever reason, doesn't happen, the closing, they use the proceeds for other permitted uses, right?
Gilbert Ho.
I don't think there's a scenario where the purchase doesn't happen. I think the purchase,
There's always a chance the purchase doesn't happen. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
They do have an option. It's not
Yeah.
like
No,
you and I are entering into a sale
worst case
contract.
scenario, if they didn't purchase the buildings, they wouldn't draw down on the bonds for the purchase. They would just, the receipts would be used for the renovations.
Okay.
Or they just not draw.
That's right.
Right.
Some of the housing bonds work as drawdowns like that. If it's like a multi-phase or a long construction period.
You can just draw it down.
Think of it like a bank loan, right? Like if you're getting a construction loan from the bank or an acquisition loan, they're not gonna just be like, here, Jerry, have a check. So,
No?
no, no, they'll be like, okay, where's your sale contract? Okay, here, we'll fund it closing, we'll fund it to the title, blah, blah, blah.
Any questions, Beryl? Lisa? No?
No.
Any other board members who are present? Any questions? Concerns? Okay, hearing none, we'll welcome them to the DASNY family, and I'll recommend that this be approved at full board meeting. Thank you very much. Second, thank you very much. All in favor, aye. Unopposed. Motion carries. Unless I'm missing something, I think that concludes finance. Unless anyone has any questions or concerns, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Thank you very much,
Motion to
Lisa.
adjourn.
Thank you. Second, Beryl. All in favor, aye. None opposed, no abstained. That carries. Thank you very much. And we'll see you all next year in January.